Greetings everyone, my name is Anna. I hope you have all been doing well. Today we are doing my July TBR video. I started off doing TBR videos a few months ago and I kind of stopped because I was in this weird reading slump. I was kind of reading, but I was only reading from like a set series. I just wanted like comfort reads. It was a weird slump, but I will go into that when I do my wrap up. So now that I feel like I'm kind of out of it, I've also tried to limit my time on Twitter and certain social media as well. So that's really helping. So now I feel like I can go back to doing TBR videos because I want to get back on track with my reading and trying new books, because there's so many books that have been recommended recently that I want to get into and, you know, get to trying. So I think the kind of theme of this TBR video is there are a couple of series that I want to complete because they've just kind of been lingering in the background, and I'll go into those now. First one I'm going to jump into is the only one I don't have a physical copy for at the moment. It is Rich People Problems by Kevin Kwan. This is the third and final book in the Crazy Rich Asians series. I started this series off, I kind of want to say last year, I cannot remember, and I just kind of want to get it done now. I'm so close to being finished. Book one, which was Crazy Rich Asians, I really enjoyed it. It was a good, fun time. Book two, which was China Rich Girlfriend, I wasn't too enamored with because we followed characters that we didn't, well, kind of background characters in book one, and then the main characters that we knew about or that we've been following weren't really talked about at all. So if you don't know what Crazy Rich Asians is about, it's set around a couple who go back to Singapore to visit the boyfriend's family, and he fails to tell her that he actually comes from this uber ultra rich family, and so the books follow the lives of all these uber rich people. So yes, book two doesn't really follow the characters that we really care about, so it was kind of a letdown for me. So it's interesting to see, well, I'm interested to see where book three goes. I don't really hold out much hope because I feel like the book or the series peaked at book one, so at this point I just kind of want to get it rounded off, finished, because I'm pretty much there now. This book is the next book in a series. It is The Obelisk Gate, which is book two in the Broken Earth trilogy, the fifth season being book one. I'm currently in the middle of a reread of the fifth season. Still really enjoying it. I'm seeing so many things that I've missed out the first time round, and I will be doing a review of this book, so you can look out for that one. But I think it's a series, or at least the fifth season is definitely a book that needs a reread, especially if you leave it as long as I did, because there's so much to go back and learn about and realise that you've missed. So I think a second read of the fifth season is essential. And so now that I'm pretty much done with that, I can jump into the second book. If you don't know what the Broken Earth trilogy is about, it's set in this world where it's basically very unstable. That it's always going through some sort of apocalypse where there's like massive shakes, everything gets destroyed, and it happens every so often, and they call these seasons. So in the fifth season, we are going through the beginnings of another season. We follow a few characters throughout their lives, and we find out a little bit more about them. It is science fiction fantasy because you do have those like sci-fi elements in there, but there are people within the book who have a power where they can quell shakes. They can basically draw power from living creatures to sort of calm down any earthquakes or eruptions or anything like that. So the world is really complex. It's a fascinating world, and there's an underlying mystery I'm gathering in the series, and I've just been itching to finish it. So this one is a series I'm more excited to get round to completing. So once this is done, I'm gonna get straight into this book. Now I have Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This one I recently hauled, and it was just pure coincidence. It coincided with the start of the Octavia E. Butler slow read along that is being hosted by Injiri from Onyx Pages. So I will leave below her announcement of the read along. It's going to take a couple of years, but I'm here for it because I want to get through Octavia Butler's back catalogue, or her backlist. Kindred is the first book in the slow read along, so that's why I want to get to it this month, but we have 2 months to read this book, which is fantastic for me. This book is centered around a character who gets flung back into the antebellum South, and she is basically on a plantation. She's trying to run for her life and I guess survive being flung back in history. I think she might go back and forth. I don't really know, but it doesn't really seem like a really long read. So I think it'll be one I will probably go through really, really quickly. It has been recommended to me before, and I'm really excited to finally start reading an Octavia Butler book. Now I have Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. This one was on a previous TBR video, but it's been one that I've been itching to get back into for a really, really long time. I read it many, many years ago, and I haven't really gotten round to picking up again. So this book is a sapphic read, and it's set in sort of Victorian England kind of time. So think Oliver Twist, but grittier. It's very, very gothic. It's really, really dark. It's kind of twisted, a little bit disturbed from what I remember reading of the book. There have been a couple of adaptations of this book. I feel like this might be one I'm interested in reviewing. So let me know if you would be interested in hearing a review of this book. I really enjoyed it from the first time I read it, and I've recently watched an adaptation last year that I really, really loved. But yeah, it's a big chunky one, so it might take me all month to read it because I am a slow reader, but it's one I'm really excited to get into because it's just been there for so long. I'm finally like knocking it out. Lastly, I've got a graphic novel. I'm trying to get through my graphic novel TBR because I own a few that have been chilling on my shelf for a very long time. This one is Descender by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. So this one sounds like a good time. It's a sci-fi book from what it appears because it centers around androids and robots and that kind of stuff, but I think it's set in a world, on a planet where androids have been outlawed, and I think we follow this young android here who I'm assuming, I've already gotten the vibe that he probably has feelings and has loads of emotions, like he's gained some sort of sentience, and so I'm gonna probably be sad at some point in this book, and I'm kind of here for it. But he is so yeah, androids are outlawed in this world, and so there are bounty hunters. I'm assuming he's gonna be trying to run for his life and try and save his life, and so yeah, we're going to be following this character. When I was going to buy this book, I looked up reviews of this online, and someone had described it as being like AI. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie. I don't really hear it talked about a lot. It had Jude Law in it, and he was like a gigolo android. But this one was compared to that movie, and I watched that movie years and years ago, and I remember crying. Like, I loved that movie. I feel like I need to give it a rewatch actually. So if this book or if this graphic novel is anything like that movie, I'm gonna be in my feels, and I'm kind of here for it. So folks, those are all of the books that I am going to try and get to in the month of July. I try to keep the physical TBR as low as possible because I have mentioned millions of times that I am a slow reader. So hopefully I should be able to get through those 5 books, and I'm pretty sure I will be adding like more audiobooks to the mix, but those are the ones I'm going to try and make a conscious effort to finish. If you enjoyed that video, then please feel free to show the like button some love, and if you would like more videos from myself, then go ahead and subscribe for more videos from me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!